It is the day after tax day. So now if you're late, you're late. Mm-hmm. Better be checking about that extension, as they say. April 16th, 2025. I'm Dan Ramey. He's the icon Mike Smith. Mr. Hand 2, leisurely off to our left. That is Aaron Glandon. And everyone's still reacting to yesterday's news that we shared here on Litter Media yesterday. We'll discuss that as it will be, again, our top story for today. So where do we go from here is our thoughts. All right, just ahead, we'll have news, a look at sports, this date in history. But first, a look at our forecast. How is it shaping up for us? Are we going to be blown all over the place today?
Actually, I think it's going to calm down. During that baseball game I was at yesterday, the players and fans looked like they were actually at a football game. The flags that were on the flagpole were actually standing out to the right constantly during the whole ball game.
When I was looking at some of the photos on our website that Aaron had taken, the people in the stands didn't look too happy. I couldn't tell if they were Unioto fans that were cold or Zane Trace fans that weren't happy with the score.
I think it could have been a little bit of both.
They just kind of looked miserable.
Yeah, but a much more pleasant day today. We're looking at some sunshine for today and tomorrow. Today's high 55, 64 for Thursday. Then those windy conditions return on Friday, but much warmer with a high of 75. But it looks like Easter weekend, we're looking for rain both Saturday and Sunday.
We had a little bit of rain last night at our house.
You know, Laura got up first and she said, "Did it rain?" And I said, "I didn't hear it if it did, but yeah. All the pavement was wet." I
was walking through the house about 3 o'clock and I looked out the window and I'm like, there are raindrops out on the cars. I didn't hear it rain at all, so it must have been very light in that respect. All right, coming up in a moment, a look at news. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They are your trusted comfort advisor and have been for nearly 5 decades now. You want to find out more about what they do? Click on this ad anywhere you see it when you go to littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, accuratehvac.com.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Haynes Total Health Care Center. If you have chiropractic, physical therapy, or nutritional needs, they can walk you through all of those and it literally help you stand upright and walk. Get more details when you click on this ad anywhere you find it on our website, littermedia.com. It takes you to their website, which is hayneshealth.com. While you're at littermedia.com, be able to see some of the stories we have to share with you today. Of course, there's our lead story yet again today, Mike Smith, about the Pixel Corporation.
Yeah, we've had a few updates, adding last night a number of letters from community leaders and even national leaders to that existing story at littermedia.com. Many people might remember Jay Timmons. Jay was a Chillicothe guy, local. I can't remember his mother's first name. That used to be the publisher of the Gazette.
Oh, sorry. Can't help you.
But Jay now, and for, golly, the last 10, 15 years, has been the president of the U.S. Manufacturers Association. And, yeah, big position. But when he got word about the Chillicothe plant, he sent out a press release about what, the paper mill has meant to his hometown of Chillicothe. Of course, he's living, I think, in Washington now. Also, a letter from Mayor Luke Feeney, the Ross County Commissioners. We already had the existing letter that Mike Throne put out from the Chamber of Commerce. So if you've not gone back to that story, do so, because you'll see a lot more information on there about the closing from many of our community leaders, affecting over 800 employees. And I think you said, Dan, the first of the layoff starts mid-June.
Yeah, from what we're hearing. And I was thinking, reading through everyone's comments on not only what we shared on Facebook, but in other areas, it's just been incredible. You think back of the homes that have been purchased thanks to the plant, the cars that have been purchased, kids put through college and everything. And when you look at the numbers of this, and if my math is correct on it, of course, it's my Taze Valley math, but I Googled yesterday what the workforce numbers are here in Ross County, just Ross County, and the response was 32,100 workers in our county. Now, 800 of those are involved with the paper plant. Right. And how many others kind of trickle out, the rippling effect, we don't know. But that's just 2.4% of the workforce, the 800. But still, that goes to show we're going to take that notch out of the workforce, and that's going to hurt our economy. We don't know where we're going to go with this. So what we have decided to do is we are going to dedicate a series of roundtable discussions, and we hope to find a way through this, not only to see where we go on a large scale, maybe a new buyer coming in, maybe it'll sit there for a while. We don't know what the focus is there, but we know people are going to be looking for jobs, and we're going to try and do what we can to help them there too. So follow along with us, and we'll try our best to help everybody get through it together, because it impacts all of us. Oh, yeah.
Mickey Timmons was Jay's mom.
Mickey Timmons,
used to be the publisher. Now, you posted a number of photos on our social media.
Right. We were looking at these just a moment ago, and when I started working here, which is coming up on 8 years ago, I was seeing the smokestack in a different way on a regular basis. So I started just taking pictures of the smokestack in different settings and all. And so these are some of my favorites that I had come across that I just had on my phone. And some of them are drone shots and everything. And then these aren't all of the photos that we shared yesterday, but you can go to our Facebook page and see some of those photos. And the comments from people, the response, I mean, almost 500 people have been reacting to these just off of one post that I made. So, and it's not about me, it's just, I thought to myself, as I'm taking these pictures, we may need these one day. Right. Today is the day. So feel free to take a look at those and share those if you'd like as well.
Another big story kind of came out of our interview yesterday morning on Special Edition with Mayor Luke Feeney. Luke, of course, was asked about the paper mill closed, but I also asked about the ordinance that passed City Council the night before that bans open camping on city property, city parks, and so forth. And he was asked whether or not he would sign this legislation or veto it.
I haven't decided yet. I think the biggest concern that I heard was from the police chief. The legislation itself, my understanding is that the content was borrowed from other communities. I've looked at some of that legislation from other communities, and the language has changed some. The police chief, I think his biggest concern, I would classify his concerns as twofold. One, that he wasn't seeking the legislation in the first place. But two, that the way that the legislation is drafted has various areas that in his opinion are vague, which would make the enforcement challenging if possible at all. So as an example, a speeding ordinance might say, if you go over 25 miles an hour, you shall be that shall be a misdemeanor, or that is a violation. This language says something along the lines of that may be a violation, but doesn't clarify how the police determine whether or not it is. So it may not be as well. So it may be a violation or may not be, but there's no clarification there. And usually you would see, I think, in that type of language, a shall or a must. And I think that was the concern that the police chief expressed. And so that's something I'll have to weigh in that decision. It was such a narrow vote as well that I'll have to figure that out. I think I have something like 10 days to make that decision.
And you can see that full interview on our Litter Media YouTube site.
We give a tip of the cap and thank you for your service as one of the stories that kind of got not really swept under the rug, but this also came out yesterday, that Dean Roberta Milliken, effective June 30th of this year, is stepping down. After her distinguished career in higher education spanning over 29 years, Dr. Milliken is stepping down, leaving behind a legacy of remarkable contributions to the university. Not only that, but also its students and the surrounding community. Dr. Milliken's career began at Ohio University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in French and a Master of Arts in English Literature. Her dedication to academia led her to earn a Doctor of Philosophy and Medieval Language and Literature from the University of Toledo. So, again, thank you, Dr. Milliken, for, is she a doctorate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Milliken. I wanted to make sure. I made that mistake here not long ago, so I didn't want to make it again. But thank you for your service to this area. Homeland Credit Union, and this is kind of tied into the paper mill as well, but Homeland Credit Union annually recognizes 20 students within their field of membership for their past efforts and future goals through the Homeland Credit Union Scholarship. And this year, Homeland Credit Union will not only award these 20 scholarships to students attending a 2- or 4-year college or university, but also a trade school. Scholarship winners will receive a $1,000 scholarship and an additional $1,000 in an 18-month certificate of deposit. The certificate of deposit will earn 4.07% APY during that 18-month period. The tie-in with them, of course, they started as the credit union for the paper mill. They came out with an announcement yesterday and said, our thoughts are certainly with you. We want you to be assured your money is okay, and we are still here, and life will continue, and we'll be here for you. So wanted to give them a tip of the cap as well.
Ross County Heritage Center has a neat little contest going on. It's called Name That Mammoth. It is for the newest addition to the Ice Age exhibit down at the Heritage Center. You can post your choice at ampersand or pound Name That Mammoth. Staff will pick the winner on April the 19th during their Archaeology Day event. The winner will receive a year's membership to the Ross County Historical Society.
That's a hashtag, Mike.
Hashtag, pardon me. What's an ampersand?
That's the and
That's
symbol.
the and.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. I had a suggestion. How about Marty the Mammoth?
Marty the Mammoth.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Mike the Mammoth because I'm already Mammoth.
How about Mark the Mammoth?
Mark the
Mark
Mammoth.
the Mammoth. I think Marty. It needs to be two syllables. Marty the Mammoth.
Marvin.
Kind of rolls.
Marvin the
Marty
Mammoth. Mine was Wooly.
Well,
I thought Wooly was.
that's probably been
it's pretty obvious. But if you bring that picture back up again, I didn't notice this, but there's only one tusk. So maybe we could call him something like Snaggletusk the Mammoth.
That's pretty good.
Or I wonder if the missing tusk is because it was too close to the window.
I don't know that I've been in there since the Ice Age exhibit, or at least I didn't know it was there.
Yeah, I've not seen it. Or we could call him Ray.
Ray the Mammoth?
Wasn't Ray Morano the voice of
I think, come to think of it, you're
the
right.
mammoth that was in Ice Age movies? So
Something to think of.
just a thought. I thought we'd throw that out there. Also today, some Fairfield County students made a new friend at the Touch a Truck event in Fairfield County Sheriff's Department. The kids got to meet Nayla, the sheriff's therapy canine.
Well.
Yeah, and somebody had commented on their Facebook page, says, who's the lucky devil that gets to take Nayla home with them? Because Nayla looked pretty cuddly right there. A therapy dog.
Because usually, like the drug dogs, the bomb dogs, they have a handler.
Right.
I'm assuming this dog does too.
Well, most therapy dogs do. Well, our pet of the week last week was a therapy
Yes.
dog, right? Samso was his name, right?
And he was a fabulous flunky.
Precisely.
You forget that
The
part,
fabulous flunky means he wasn't able to be a service animal, but he does fulfill the duties of being a therapy dog and letting kids read to him. And the cool thing is he doesn't bark.
Yeah, that doesn't.
He's unable to bark.
I wonder if failed service dogs a lot of time are they're too cuddly, and so they become therapy dogs.
Yeah, that could be. Well, he had hip dysplasia, I believe,
Well, that
was
would-
the situation there. Yeah.
Our road report takes us over to Brown County today. Actually, we got a couple of notes for the road report today. State Route 763, there's a slide repair project that's going on there now through May the 2nd. The detours, because this project is between West Fork Road and State Route 125, detours are State Route 125, 136, and 41. And again, that is down through May the 2nd.
You'll also find on our Facebook page today where the Ohio Department of Transportation District Number 9 has photos of the traffic pattern for the resurfacing of the business loop there at US 23, 35, and 50 around Chillicothe. This no doubt will be a surprise to some folks, but you're going to be taken over to one side of the route and then brought back across the median strip again. But I got a feeling it's going to kind of be like one of those funnel effects, and you'll have to do what you can to be patient with all the traffic backup.
Yeah. And drive carefully. Slow down.
Yes.
Anytime you see an orange barrel, that's a law. Slow down, or you're going to, I think it's double the fine if you're speeding in a construction zone.
We will have someone here to talk a little more explicitly about that tomorrow from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, the new post commander here in Chillicothe. Not a new guy. We've known him over the years, but we will have Aaron Morgan in here, the new post commander. And that'll be, I think is that 10 o'clock or noon? Okay. I'm told 10 o'clock. Coming up at noon today, we do have another special edition of Litter Media Live, the new executive director of the Paper City Mentoring Project. Mm-hmm. A familiar name as well.
Yes.
We'll share you who she is coming up at noon today. All right, up ahead, a look at sports. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389 is the number to call. Scioto Valley Dumpsters can provide a dumpster for your business or for your residents in the surrounding area. You want to find out more? Give them a call, 740-253-8389.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
And don't forget, coming up, the Easter Bunny and Grimace will be at Western Avenue McDonald's this Saturday, 9 to 11.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Time now for a look at sports, and Mike was braving the cold yesterday.
Yes, but I have a story bigger than that to start with.
Ah, well then please do.
Andrew Day is the new boys basketball coach at Adena High School, replacing Ryan O'Laker. Day led the Adena girls basketball team to back-to-back SVC titles in the 2021 and 21-22 seasons and was named SVC Coach of the Year 3 times and District Coach twice. Congratulations to our buddy Andrew Day, the new boys basketball coach at Adena. they're still in the process of searching for his replacement as the the new girls basketball coach.
He was just a kid when I met him for the first time, when his dad, Steve Day, came to Chillicothe from Mansfield and became the new athletic director at Chillicothe High School. That was back in the late 90s, and he performed sideline duties for us as a sideline reporter on our Cavalier broadcast, and I remember seeing Andrew as a young kid. Nice to meet you, sir. And now he's become a fixture here in our community.
Kind of a related side note, I saw yesterday in the Record Herald post out of Washington Courthouse that Andrew's brother Ryan has resigned as the Miami Trace girls basketball coach. So
when Mike texted me yesterday, all I saw was Ryan Day, and I'm like, Ohio State's Ryan Day? Oh, no, it's Steve's other son.
Who knows?
Ryan.
Maybe his brother might hire him as an assistant.
You never
Keep
know.
it in the family.
That's right.
Now on to the baseball game. A big SVC baseball matchup between two conference unbeatens. Unioto handed Zane Trace their first loss overall in a 7-1 victory. That guy on the mound right there, Blake Sanders, he threw a one-hitter. The one run that Zane Trace got was via a walk, stolen base, and then a fielder's choice from Gunnar McCullough scored that only run. 2 solo homers in the ball game yesterday. It was cold, but Unioto hit all the right buttons in making that win. Now, Unioto has to come back tonight at Westfall in another battle of conference unbeaten. So find that score later tonight on our Litter Media scoreboard.
And if you want to hear Tony Taylor and Blake Sanders talking about those with Mike Smith, you'll find that all on our website. Just go to littermedia.com. And while you're there, you'll be able to see some of the other scores and everything too, right?
And the next one,
do we have scores?
Is that
this one here?
Right there.
Waverly boys and Unioto girls winning team titles in the Waverly Raidiger Track and Field Invitational. And I got to throw a quick shout out for my niece, Kate Ridley, is the Pickaway County long jump champion, winning that last night in the Pickaway County meet they had up at Circleville.
So before you go any farther, I'm going to
Tate's
corner
Valley
you
kid.
here. Because I asked you before, is it Raidiger or Raidiger? You said, I said Raidiger,
did
you
I just
said
say
yes,
Raidiger?
and then you said Raidiger.
I've heard it both ways.
Well, I have too, and I don't know which is right.
So
you're a Pike County guy. You should know.
I don't think Dan was listening when you asked him earlier.
we were
I
correct.
could get a lot of things from him that way. Oh, take it away, John.
He was staring at his computer, and you asked him the question, and he went, mm-hmm.
I bet his wife has that problem too.
And how often have we talked to Mike and he's reading out loud to himself?
I'll say, stop, I'm working on something. Don't tell me. Dan's got some other scores.
I think that's from you growing up in a house of 2 women.
Oh, golly.
So, all right, on to our scores for you from last night. All on our Litter Media score page, you'll see that Miami Trace, Jackson, and Chillicothe all picked up wins in the FAC. That is baseball or softball over there? Baseball, okay. Green picked up a win over Notre Dame in extra innings. Also, TVC winners included Athens, Trimble, and Eastern Megs. Non-conference, Southeastern over Peebles. Wellston beat Piketon. Western fell to White Oak, and Amanda over Groveport Madison. Portsmouth was a winner in the OVC there as well. High school softball, Piketon, Unioto, and Huntington were all winners in the SVC. Chillicothe remains undefeated in conference play, as does Hillsborough. And Jackson has just 1 or 2 losses. 2 losses and both to Hillsborough, correct? Chillicothe and Hillsborough are going to meet next Monday and Tuesday. Mid-State League Buckeye, Logan Elm, a winner over Hamilton Township, 12-zip. Valley, a winner in the SOC 3. SOC 1, Notre Dame picked up the win. Non-conference, Portsmouth West over Southeastern. Eastern blasted New Boston 27-0. TBC winners included Athens, Wellston, and Trimble. And the Southern Hills Athletic Conference, Eastern Brown over West Union. And Chillicothe boys blanking Wayne in volleyball, and Ross Christian Academy picked up a win over the St. Charles B team as well.
The Redlegs are hot. They won their 4th straight last night, beating the Mariners by a score of 8-4. And that was a comeback win. They were actually behind.
And it wasn't so cold that the legs turned blue. Those are just blue socks for those of you being able to see this. But this is all part of the Jackie Robinson night.
And the Guardians also victorious last night over Baltimore 6-3. And great news, still going, CBJ.
Keep on dancing. The CBJ is alive with that win. Montreal will host the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. And if Montreal wins, it's all over.
Yep.
It's all said and done. If they lose, the Blue Jackets have to win tomorrow night in their home match against the New York Islanders to be able to say, we got in by the skin of our gums, because how many hockey players are toothless?
If Montreal blows this may be one of the bigger collapses in the NHL in a long time.
Heads will roll.
Because last week it was pretty much a done deal,
Yeah.
and they just kept losing or tying, and the Jackets kept winning.
And the Jackets have gotten hot at the right time.
Yep.
And I hope it's not, let's say they make it in, okay? I hope it's not they've expended everything they had just to get in and then fall on their faces in the first round. So we've seen that happen for people before. All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history, the Litter Media Wayback Machine dials are going to...
Staying on a sports theme for 1929. All that coming up. Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Life, it can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
The spring sales event continues at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe, where you can get new riding tractors starting as low as $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. How about chainsaws? New chainsaws starting at $279.99. Trimmers, I heard one just outside just a moment ago. Those starting at $229.99. New blowers at $199.99. And new walk-behinds starting at $399.99. Hurry in to get the best selection. With prices like this, they're not going to last long. Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors.
Next door.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Time for this date in history.
1929. The Cleveland Indians opened the season with numbers on the back of each player's jersey, the first Major League Baseball team to do so. The numbers make it easier for scorekeepers, broadcasters, and the fans to identify players. Cleveland wins the game that day against the Detroit Tigers in 11 innings, 5-4. Well, that's nice, but there's a backstory to this. The New York Yankees, who were back-to-back world champions from 1927 and 28, were actually supposed to do this on the same day, but their game got rained out. So the Cleveland Indians have the distinction of being the first Major League team to get the jerseys on the back of their uniforms.
No crying Yankees. First of all, there's no crying in baseball. But second of all, the Yankees can't cry over it because they have how many world championships? 20-some. So, yeah, we'll let you guys have the numbers on the backs of your jerseys.
The Yankees jersey numbers, though, part of that story was the players were given the numbers that showed where they fit in the lineup. Mm-hmm. What if the manager wants to change the lineup?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm sorry, we're locked into this jersey deal, so we have to make sure.
You can't hit third today. You got to hit fourth. Lou Gehrig was number 4.
And let's be honest, how do we retire numbers now? And it's famous when you go to Yankee Stadium to see the memorials out there with the numbers on them. What would we have done if not for the retirement of numbers?
Somebody quickly figured out that system wasn't going to work. Yeah. But yesterday, everybody wore 42.
Correct.
Which, how does the broadcasters know who's up?
It always confuses my wife.
Yeah.
She's like, why? Honey, we went over this last year. Yeah. No, she's not that gullible, but she was the second year because she was like, what is going on?
What is going on here? Yeah.
All right, and Ken Griffey Jr., wasn't he the first one that asked Major League Baseball to be able to wear the number and in honor of Jackie Robinson? Then they said, hey, how about we just let everybody wear it?
Mm-hmm. And that came supposedly from Pee Wee Reese when the Brooklyn Dodgers were playing in Cincinnati. There was Pee Wee was even getting hate mail because he was a Kentucky guy playing on the same team with a black athlete. And he goes over and puts his arm around Jackie in Crosley Field, and the fans are booing. And he said, maybe one day, Jack, we'll all wear number 42, and they won't be able to tell us apart. So.
And there they are. Branch Rickey, of course, helping to pave the way.
Another Ohio boy.
Right, right, down along the river, down where they decide where they have the Super Bowl winners and all that stuff in the tobacco bar. All right, coming up here at noon today, we're going to talk about pickleball. There's a pickleball tournament that's going to help fund the folks at the Paper City Mentoring Project, and we'll be discussing that with the new executive director, Asti Powell, who will be joining us coming up in just a bit.
All right.
That's coming up at noon today. But until tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you soon on another edition of Litter Media Live.